Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where this week we're finally getting to a car I've had sitting around for about a year. It's this 1964 Pontiac Grand Prix. Now, these are pretty cool cars, and I've always been after one, and I saw it pop up on Marketplace about a year ago. It's not bad. There's a few things we're going to have to address, maybe large things. First thing you're going to note is that it has the 8-lug Pontiac wheels. What you're seeing here is actually a finned aluminum brake drum with a steel rim bolted to it, therefore 8-lug. Very cool. They're really no different functionally than a typical GM big car brake, but they dissipate heat a lot better because they're finned in aluminum. That was a staple of Pontiacs in this era up to 69, I think, 68, 69. The car is actually in pretty good shape. The bumpers are decent on it. This one's a re-chrome. Could use a re-chrome again. It looks like someone started some body work. Tell that the deck lid had been stripped and coated with some kind of oxide primer. Same with this quarter. They started cutting out some rust here and there, but didn't get much further than that. Inside the car, we have typical Grand Prix things. We got a grab bar on the dash, that's factory. Vacuum gauge, which is factory in all automatic transmission cars. Chump steering wheel, that's horrible. The bucket seats in the console, that's standard stuff in a Grand Prix. And we're missing that door panel, but it's right back here. As well as looks like a new carpet kit, a headliner, and a package tray. Oh, and Louis L'Amour, the Californios. Yeah, I think I've read that one. Yes, I can read. The very cool car. The dash is just like, just that dying last gasp of this, I don't know, the rocket era of the late 50s, early 60s. You get to 65 and things are just a lot more tamed down, a lot more mild designs. And, this car's just got a lot of class still. Here's the elephant in the room, is under the hood. There's no engine or transmission. And frankly, it's kind of a blessing because these cars had the Slim Jim automatic transmission, which is just a genuine piece of crap. And it would have had a early Pontiac styled 389 in it with almost no interchangeability to the later Pontiac engines. But we have air conditioning, we have power brakes, we have power steering, and dual exhaust. Some of it's still down there. It even still has its radiator, battery, and all that, and you might wonder why. As happens almost every time that someone starts to, I'm going to LS swap something, what do? They tear the whole car apart, realize that it's a lot more work and money than they can do, and then, it's dead. This car was running and driving in like 2017, 2018, and then he pulled the motor out of it to do an LS swap. And you can see that LS is really running really good there. I mean, look at that thing. Whew, talk about that reliability right there. Well, we're going to put it back. And we're going to do that.
You found an LS for it, right?
Yeah, I got an LS. It's actually a YS. This is a YS code Pontiac 400 right here. Yeah, it's superior to the LS in every single way, actually. You might notice this. So what they did is they did away with fuel injection and then just had this small device here. You put it on there and it just puts fuel in the engine and it runs.
It works? It doesn't have a computer that tells it what to do?
No, it doesn't. All it needs is you.
Why wouldn't you want a computer and all that good stuff that, you can't do anything to?
Well, no, here's the thing is you also don't have to do anything to this.
What?
You just kind of put it on and it just works.
I thought those didn't work ever.
Oh, no, none of these do. Not a single one of them. And then the ignition, it's actually, instead of all the computer nonsense, it's just a simple pair of contact points.
Why would you want that?
I guess...
I know you might have to file them, you might have to gap them.
It takes 5-10 seconds to do that,
Very, very difficult to replace.
So hard. It's 2 screws. One wire runs it and one fuel line. And that's all you need. Literally one wire. And that's it. Crazy. Modern technology never ceases to amaze. So anyway, yeah, I got this 400 from Steve, Build Season on YouTube. I actually got both of these 400s. This one's a 69 block, I'm pretty sure. It's got a long tail transmission on it. Tells you it's from a big car. And number 15 heads. So that is a high compression 2-barrel engine. It's probably 290 horse, something like that. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it will motivate that, no problem. Where to start is always the question, and I'm actually thinking we should see what's in the car. There might be valuable parts in here or in the trunk. I've never been in the trunk. Or maybe more Louis L'Amour books. I mean, that'd be fine too.
That'd be valuable, right?
See, and it actually had keys. It's already a better car than half the shit I own. That doesn't mean they actually work. Oh.
Wow.
Hey, there is stuff. Holy crap, there's a drive shaft. Freaking awesome. Dude, jackpot. I had no idea this stuff was in there. Got a fan shroud. That is killer. Yep, 64 Grand Prix. Now let's see what we've got here. There are goodies. So we got, that is a brand spanking new package tray, which is...
Hey, you got a set of wrenches in here, huh?
Yeah, it came with a tool set, huh?
Oh,
those aren't mine, so they've been in here. What are these? Oh, those are LS mounts for the... Ooh, we could put those right in the scrap pot. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, dude, that's the protective plate. This is stamped on the car somewhere. This is the reverse. It's for theft.
Oh.
That's pretty cool. Those are tough to find sometimes. There's a pair of scissors.
Oh.
No glove box.
Damn. It was at Greaserama in 2017.
That's what I thought he said. Yeah.
It has not been off the road very long.
No. A brand new headliner. You don't want me to put that in, but might give her a shot. I'm not good, but I am cheap. These. Oh, that's just some material. And this is carpet, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah. Brand new carpet kit. A little bit of mold. That's okay.
Well, look at that back seat.
Oh, wow.
That's never even been broke in yet.
Look at that. Oh, wow. This thing's pretty nice.
You know, I know this isn't a Chrysler, but I do like this car.
It's hard not to. One kick panel. Oh, hey, what's this? Bunch of hardware. I don't know.
What the hell was that?
I don't know what that is. I don't know if I want to know.
Do we need to be censoring that right now?
There we go. One A-pillar cover. These are polished stainless. Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Those
have to go back on.
There's so much cool stuff here.
Look at the stainless trim that goes around the package tray.
Oh, yeah.
That is cool.
Oh, here's the coat hooks. That's the original air cleaner lid for the 389. I thought I saw some suntan lotion in there.
There is. There is some lotion, and there's a glove with something stuck to it.
Oh, that's the sill panel that's missing over here. Oh, there's the other wiper arm.
Oh.
And a clutch fan.
Yeah, there's some springs. Oh, it's maybe throttle
linkage. Dude, yes.
That could be important.
And U-joint straps. Okay, you know, so yeah, he pulled it out. He was going to ruin the car, but at least he bagged all the stuff it's going to need to unruin it. What we should really probably do next, why don't we pull the hood off of it, get that engine bay kind of cleaned up, detailed up a little bit. And I'm actually probably going to start with brakes. We'll do chassis stuff first while there's no engine in the way. That way, if we have to run lines or anything like that, we can kind of do a clean install of stuff. And yeah, this matters. And not just because it's a Pontiac. That's not the only reason I'll care about it, okay? But that's most of the reason. Oh, big bastard. Just hit her with the super clean. Just hose it. I got a new pressure washer I haven't had a chance to try out, so this will be the first time. Got a DeWalt, made in USA, supposedly. It's also not warm today. It was like 90 yesterday, but it do be Missouri. You can tell it works because of the way it burns your sinuses.
It burns your eyes too.
It's overall unpleasant to ingest. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. learned 3 things. 1, we need to push the car out further. We're going to do that. 2, the car has all new suspension components by the looks of it. New idler arm, shocks, ball joints, bushings, springs. Somebody put a lot of work into this. And 3, DeWalt pressure washer. Pretty good, considering it's got 300 foot of garden hose feeding it. That did really well. We're going to start with brakes because I know they don't work, and it'll be easier to do them now. Also, we can kind of inspect the chassis components, see if we're going to need to buy anything. Does it have a transmission cross member?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. You know what's better than 5 lug nuts? 8. Off comes the wheel.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And this just comes off like a standard brake drum. It's just got 1 spindle nut in the middle. And that's it. On the back, what you have is the same damn thing. However, underneath this is 5 lug nuts. So it just bolts right on. So it's like a big wheel adapter, basically. You just bolt the drum on, and then you bolt your wheel to the drum. And look, it's just a freaking regular grease cap with a regular spindle nut and bearing. And on the back is your same thing. It's just typical 5-on-5 pattern because it's the same axle, hub, everything that every other big Pontiac had. This all looks very fresh and pretty new. Never just assume that things will be fine because they usually aren't. Definitely newer wheel bearing, but it's not packed well. Moves around in there. There we go. That is definitely a replacement wheel cylinder, like fairly somewhat recently. Sure look fine to me. The hoses are newer. See that? We're going from a 1/4 inch line on the brake line to an adapter, then to what I assume is probably a 3/16 brake hose. Why would you do that? I was able to get brake hoses for the car. They weren't, like, I've got them in a box right over there. Oh, yep. That's definitely brake fluid coming out of there. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's brake fluid.
Yeah, it is. It burns, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse says it's brake fluid. Good to know. That is definitely brand new. Well, somewhat new. You're probably fine. Hold the other one. Yeah, once again, really good looking shoes. They had to grind the bottom of the shoe to fit the brake adjuster for some reason. I think we got 1 bad wheel cylinder, probably a bad master cylinder. I bet we could get away without touching these, just wash them out. Maybe check out the rubber hose. I can see from here, it's still shiny. It's not even rusty. Step 1, let's get the cobwebs out of here. Degrease. At least I'm going to save a few bucks on not buying shoes or hardware. Oh wow, look at there, I just blow all the paint right off of those shoes. Totally refinishes them. Alright, now they're all rinsed, cleaned up. Clean out the drums, and we're just going to do wheel cylinders on the front and maybe brake hoses if they allow us to get rid of that weird adapter thing. Hey, what the hell is this?
Kind of spacer?
I don't know. It was on the spindle. I thought it was part of the wheel seal, but it's not. Why would you put a spacer on this?
The only thing I could think is maybe if the threads are screwed on that spindle, somebody, instead of chasing them, just spaced it out.
The other one doesn't have one, does it?
Oh, let me see. No, it has one.
What?
Yeah, there is one over here. Whatever that is, I don't think was made by Pontiac.
No.
Looks very,
Really?
very hack.
I think we should try to put it together without whatever that is. I mean, it could, I guess the only thing that would space would be the drum, to keep the drum from rubbing on the shoe. I would rather grind the shoe down a little bit to make it fit than do that. But it shouldn't do that either. So we will figure out why. You do not want rattly thing. It doesn't even fit over the spindle, right? I mean, that's going to cause, it would eat the spindle at some point, I would think. Nothing like a little brake line roulette.
Somebody already pretty much rounded that flare nut off on this line. I'll go ahead and finish the job. Good.
Mine is frozen to this adapter thing they've got. Oh, there we go. Hey, it went though. And it's full of brake fluid. Pressurized brake fluid. What the hell?
Oh, you got a line wrench over there?
I do. Adapters in these. I'm not sure what that's about. But they covered them in pipe dope, which is never a good sign. It's a pipe thread adapter in the brake line.
That's how it's supposed to be, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to be. Here's the brake hose right here. Here's the adapter covered in pipe dope. Well, these are 1/4-inch lines. The correct hose is it's bigger. It doesn't fit. They just have the wrong damn hoses on the car.
Hey, that got it.
Had to use a little heat.
Yeah.
These have all kinds of trouble over there. If I don't get it, mine just comes right apart. You got to know how to talk to the Pontiac, you know?
I can't even get a wrench on this damn fitting over here. It's so rounded off.
You should have picked this side.
I see why you jumped to that side.
Yes, it was all part of my plan. You might be able to see in here, there's a bolt right here. You cannot get to it. You can't get a wrench on it. You can't get open or closed side of a wrench on it. I think the correct way to go about these is to actually pull the backing plate and then put the wheel cylinder in. I think we're going to have to do that.
It was pretty mean of them to do it this way.
Yes.
You've got to pull 2 bolts out of the bottom, a bolt to the spindle, and then they hide one up here behind the shoes that screws into the top. So you got to take it all apart and then pull the backing plate off. Yes, as you can see, the socket's still stuck on the top bolt. That one just bolts into the top of the spindle. These 2 are through bolts. Then this whole thing comes off and you can get to that wheel cylinder bolt.
It's so dumb. Yeah, see, it's just that easy. Pull the whole damn thing off, and then you can get a wrench on it. Just very simply put this back in.
These lower ball joints have been replaced as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, front brakes are done, right? You got your hose on and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. They don't need the adapter that's held on by pipe dope in one thread.
It's crazy how that works.
Just put the right one on it. That leaves us with the question of why the hell was there a shim thing in here? But I guess we will soon learn the answer to that. I am going to put a little more grease in these bearings. There's nothing wrong with the bearings, and they do have grease in them, but whoever greased them did not do a very good job, and they're not fully packed between the rollers. What the fuck? Yeah, if you tighten down the spindle nut all the way, it definitely doesn't love that. What the hell is that rubbing on? Maybe the backing plate's just bent a little?
On both sides?
It doesn't make any sense, I know, but... I'm going to take mine off and see if I can't see a witness mark somewhere. We can see a pretty clear wear mark right here on the backing plate. And this is for me prying on it, I think, these chunks. Somebody has taken a grinder to the brake drum and tried to shave it down. I might actually also do the same. So here's what I think's going on. I think these are replacement backing plates. I don't know why you would have replaced them, but somebody did. It's rubbing here. It's not here where they were grinding.
Something ain't jiving over here.
No, and anything we could do that doesn't involve putting a shim on the spindle is probably a good idea. Yeah, I have the solution. Just take this and just clearance it slightly. Now, let's see if that made any difference at all. Yes, it did.
Well, it's about like mine is.
Well, it ain't perfect. It's still rubbing a little, but it's rubbing less because I can actually push it all the way down and still turn it. I'm getting somewhere here. I'm going to put a little paint on this backing plate and stick the drum back on and then see if we can tell where it's rubbing. Yep. Okay, it's not as bad. As you can tell, it's rubbing right here on the liner. It's a lot better than it was. It's just on the inside of the backing plate and pretty much all the way around. We gotta grind some more. Just a simple brake job. This is routine. I'm getting there. I'm just gonna dust some paint on it again, just in case.
Would you like some Dykem for that?
Yeah.
All the machinists use it, so.
Well, I am a machinist, as you can tell.
Yeah, I can clearly see it rubbing very much.
But it can't be the whole thing. It's just got to be a couple of spots, right? So, yeah, just got a belly crawl under here. Yeah. I'm going to see what happens if I tighten this down, because that's going to change things. Huh? I couldn't do that before. It's so much better now.
Wonder if at this point, could you maybe just beat the backing plate away a little bit with a hammer?
Is that to the point where it will grind itself to clearance? Perhaps.
You know, when you're slow cruising the strip, might be kind of embarrassing.
For a while. Oh, screw, I've ground this much. What the hell? I'll just keep going. What's it gonna hurt? Looky here. Look. It free spins like it's supposed to. It will just clearance itself. We take it down the road. We do about 120 for about 10 minutes. They'll be clean as a whistle.
I could see that.
It's not great, but it spins. Remember how we couldn't push the car? I think that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, this one, it's the f***ing same.
You got more grinding to do, son. I gotta clean off these cobwebs. So, she good, right?
It's
totally fine.
It's as good as it's gonna be.
I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? Some other day we'll deal with this. You know, while you've been doing that, I'm clear coating the new master cylinder. It's something I do on cars that I like. Just shoot it with some clear coat, and then it just dries and looks like brand new cast iron forever. All right, starting off today, I'm gonna change out this master cylinder. We got to get the brakes all done, which means I need Jesse to be here to help me bleed them. But maybe if we can go ahead and get this bolted on, then we can get in here and start prepping this engine bay for a coat of paint. Would be nice. Yeah, the piston looks different. It's smaller. But it is what it listed, and they were using some stuff that wasn't correct. I'm going to go with the new one and assume that this maybe is the wrong master cylinder that was on it. Well, we want to try to bleed.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Oh. Sounds great.
I hear fluid squirting out somewhere.
Yes. Where is the fluid squirting out from?
Oh, it's over here.
What? Oh, is it not tight? Here you go. Just, mistakes happen. Not to me, but, to others.
Does not appear to be leaking, and I can actually hear it activating the wheel cylinders up here already.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I felt it activating the wheel cylinder. I got no air that time. All right, good. That was a good stream. It's moving a lot of fluid.
Oh, hell yeah. No intermittent stream issues?
Absolutely not.
It's not time for its exam, then.
No.
Damn it. Those are good brakes.
It'd probably stop.
I think it might. They are huge.
Yes.
I believe this vehicle will stop.
But it doesn't have enough wheel cylinders. So
Not enough wheel cylinders, no. If it had 4 in the front, we'd still be doing this.
the next thing to work on, I'm going to kind of tidy up this engine bay a little bit. Just going to go through, kind of wire brush some stuff, get a little bit more of the grease off some of this rough looking paint. So that way we can paint it up and make it look a little bit nicer. Oh. Hold on. Coming out pretty good. Might even do a little bit of degreasing. Make sure that paint has every chance to stick, because it's going to need it.
Excellent work.
Not bad.
Now it's time for the fire hose treatment. Oh, yes. Look at that. Well, the engine bay looks really pretty good now. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better and was worth the effort for sure. So now we are getting our organ donor over here. I just want to give it a real quick cleanup. I mean, spray bomb, total rattle can rebuild this thing, and then drop it in. It might as well look good. I don't know if it is good. I don't know anything about it. Does it even turn over? What was that? What the hell was
Sounded
that?
like something in the bell housing.
Like the torque converter bolts are out of it?
Oh, it's got compression.
Let's lift this thing up. We'll pull the inspection cover and see what's inside of there.
That seal might not be any good.
Well, the obvious answer is just don't park the car on a hill. Well, I can very clearly see that at least one torque converter bolt isn't in it.
Oh. Almost like they were getting ready to separate the engine and transmission for some reason.
Well, you remember Steve's car, the Javelin?
Yes.
Same guy. He got that 327 and the transmission. Engine ran great. Transmission was junk, and all the bolts were out of it.
Judging by the brownish hue of that transmission fluid and it smelling burnt, might be the same story here.
We don't feel very confident about this transmission. I have limited other options. I do have a long tail transmission that I know did work. I just don't remember exactly why I pulled it. It was in my 72 Le Mans. We pulled it on the channel. I guess I can watch the video because I pulled it to put a short tail transmission back in the car. But I don't know if there was actually anything all that wrong with it.
What we have it here is a
long tail Turbo 400 that's trashed and needs to go away. Oh, look how dented it is. So I jumped this several years ago. I think I'm starting to reap some of the benefit. I saw it drive into the shop on the video. It moved. Goes backwards right there.
Okay. Well, that's a start.
I drove it with that transmission. You know what? At least it moves, okay? It might leak a little or something. I don't know. It's probably better than that one. That's what we're going with. Let's grab it. There it is. Sitting without a dipstick in it for 3 years.
That shows you cared a lot about it when you pulled it.
Yeah, I must have. I do have other options. I've got a good Turbo 350, and I have a good Turbo 400 in the Rusty Goat. Those are both short tails. I'm pretty sure we want a long tail for this application. I could be wrong, but it's a big car. I think it needs a longer one. We can separate this, but I don't have a torque converter for the other trans. So we could either reuse this one, which seems like a bad idea. I think I can get one for like $90 from O'Reilly. Just a stock one. Well, I ordered one, $115, and it'll be here tomorrow morning. In the meantime, we will get this separated and then dress up that engine that's definitely perfectly fine and send it. And we're going to pull like maybe some of the brackets and the pulleys and stuff just to get a coat of paint on them. You know, you don't want to make the whole engine blue. Not good?
No, very hard to turn, actually. Yeah. Kind of crunchy, too.
Okay, let me see if I have one. I've got a new fuel pump for it. I know that. Oh, you can see the timing chain now. It's fine.
No issues at all there?
No, that's fine. Look, at some, you could always get sidetracked with, well, I should do this, or I should do that, and then what do you have at the end of the day? You end up rebuilding the damn thing. Screw that. We're going to put it in the car. What falls off, we'll fix it then. Water pump being something we do immediately. I did have a new one in stock. You know, it's actually not too bad. Very clean. Look at that.
That's definitely not stop leak that was in the system, right? That's stop leak, 100%.
It is. It's sawdust. It's old stop leak.
It was probably just the radiator leak.
Yeah, I bet it was. It was a freaking radiator. I mean, the engine came from Wisconsin, so...
Oh, yeah, radiator failures up there are just...
extremely common.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to throw this on. Now, this is worth noting here on Pontiac, much like other makes. See how this is stamped steel? This is garbage. All your original ones are cast iron. The impeller flows way better. These, I mean, they either work or you will have overheating problems. So if this engine were to have overheating problems, the first place I would look is this water pump, and I would go try to find either an old one, which are pretty available, or like a flow cooler or something like that. But it may be fine. I've had some luck with them, but I don't know. Emergency use only, or cheap bastard use only. Then we will degrease and clean this baby up, shining like a diamond in a goat's ass. Let her marinate in the super clean. Let its gaseous, noxious fumes do its work on us and the engine. Man, we're giving this thing the freaking whole 9 yards, my man. I mean, taking a wire brush to it and everything, not just painting over all of the grease, only some of the grease. I mean, come on. And we're going for the line of sight rebuild. You know, things that are visible in an engine bay and not much else. We got to be sparing here. I have like 2 half cans of Pontiac Blue Metallic. We can't be overzealous.
Okay.
So, upper surfaces first. Look at that. It's a beautiful color, though.
It is a nice color.
That is the best color of any engine ever, right there. I don't know why they quit doing that and went to that solid teal color. Look at this brand new 400 Pontiac.
Rebuild.
That is a beautiful engine. I'm only going to do a little bit today. Kind of banged my elbow up. I don't know why. What happened? I guess I hit it on something. It's all nasty. Jess made some kind of pine needle poultice thing that it's covered in right now. It seems to be working. Here's our new torque converter. And I'm going to make a mess. Anyway, we got to fill the new torque converter with tranny fluid. And then put this on. And JD's here. He's going to help me get this transmission stuck on that 400. That way it'll be ready to go whenever we decide to actually install it. There we go. As long as you can't get your fingers behind it, you're good. Not on mine. Yeah, just suck it on with the bolts. It's a great idea. All the cool kids are doing it. There's that. We'll just have to get the torque converter bolts in it. But I was getting ready to put the fuel pump on while JD tightened those bolts. So you're going to run into this on Pontiacs quite a bit. The factory fuel pump is a 5/16 thread. Well, if somebody's re-threaded this timing cover for a 3/8 thread, and what you got to do for that is just hog the holes out on your fuel pump. JD got all the torque converter bolts in. Anyway, I'm putting the motor mounts on. Now, you can't buy motor mounts for this Grand Prix. Well, you probably can, but not like from a parts store. I think it takes this style. I salvaged those off of a 60 Pontiac 389 I had. That was out of a 60 Catalina, which is a different car, but I think that fits. If you look at this here, yeah, it's got this little cup on it. It fits really nicely. I'm pretty sure those are the right mounts. They take a really weird fine thread bolt, though. We'll have to see if we can find one, or we might have to run to the hardware store. I'm going to keep this one loose so we can try to look. It's because these are used motor mounts from an engine that I pulled like 5 or 6 years ago at least. They don't really want a thread. I tried coarse and fine thread. I don't know. Neither one of them wants to work. I'm going to run a tap through them. I guess I'll go fine thread. Oh yeah, definitely fine thread.
Yep. Probably just had some junk in it.
Yep, had some crappy spots. We'll have to do this to the one I already bolted to the engine, but that's what you got to do. You got to repurpose and reuse when you're working on stuff that they just don't make parts for. Aha!
Works good.
Yep.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, I'll clean up the other one. You get this one bolted to the engine.
Okay.
Okay, it's the next day. Jesse's here. We're going to try to stab this in and just see what we're working with. Go down a little?
Yeah, we can start bringing her down.
We're going to try to land it on top of the trans cross member. That almost never works, but what the hell? Shove?
Yep, now down.
Go down a little more, then we'll get a jack.
Is that thing already hitting the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, down?
Yeah. Damn, it's close.
You gonna clear it?
No, not yet. Hey, run that floor jack up. Just a pump. And we are, unfortunately, running into the crossmember. We were so close to being able to slip through, but there's just not enough tunnel in this car. I'm going to pull the crossmember out of the way. I'm going to just go ahead and easily pull this. No problem. And, yeah, but we pull that, then we'll have all kinds of room to move around.
Escalated a little bit, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, desperate times and all that.
Hey!
Yep.
Should be able to pull the cross member now.
Uh-huh. Just that easy.
Hey.
Definitely got a lot more room now.
And now the manifold is hitting the steering box again. Hey, there we go.
There we go. Something's happening.
But we're kind of sort of on that mount.
We're damn close. Making steady progress. The motor is in the car. We could bolt it in, it seems. However, the passenger exhaust manifold is just fine for this application, but the driver's exhaust manifold, I don't know, something's different about this particular Pontiac exhaust manifold. I thought they were all basically the same. Good news is that the motor mounts do seem like they're probably going to work, and the transmission crossmember might work. I mean, it's not just going to bolt in, it never does, but it is pretty close. It is very tight under here. It's not perfect, but there is just enough room in this tunnel to squeeze a turbo 400 into. I think it's pretty good. I also think going with the long tail 400 was probably a good move. Otherwise, we'd end up with like an 8-foot long drive shaft. We're gonna go hunt for a manifold and see what we come up with there and at least get the motor bolted in. This is one of those weird Pontiacs where they quit putting bolts in the ends of the manifolds. There's no bolt here or on the other end. You have to drill and tap them if you want to put headers on, but otherwise they work totally fine with only 4 bolts. It's just that easy. We can get a new one of those. My hoard of Pontiac exhaust manifolds has dwindled over the years. I was looking for a center dump driver's exhaust manifold, but came up short. I found this other exhaust manifold that was a slightly thinner casting I thought would fit a little better around the steering box, but came up short on that as well. After failing, we resorted to grinding.
Test fit number 3? Something like that?
Take 7.
Are we gonna work? It looks absolutely no different from up here, but I don't know.
I can see through it.
You can see through it? Okay.
I can. It's not a lot, but I can see through. I could work on it a little bit more, but we're going to need a damn good exhaust guy, that is for sure. I think we're good to roll right now. We'll put a gasket in it, of course, but we ain't putting exhaust on it anyway. I mean, it'll have to go somewhere to do that. Now, before we put manifold on, be a hell of a good time to get the motor bolted in. And it's just off like half a bolt. Violence.
Yeah, I was thinking we try beating on the mount because there's a tab on the side of it that's kind of bent. Mm-hmm. And I believe that is all that is holding us up.
I agree. I'm probably screwing the threads all up, but
only has to go in once.
Exactly. It'll certainly never need a motor mount. It's that close, a hair. And I'm going to open up the pad on the car just a touch, and it should go. If this was a tapered bolt, which it probably is supposed to be, it would go in. I got it.
Seems to be going.
I think it's going. I bought way too long of bolts.
Yeah, it is sticking out quite a ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 1 lug nut off. Hey, I found the right size bolt. It's right there.
It's right size spacer?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's just a big washer is all it is. Yeah.
Hey, it's in.
I'll be damned.
Oh, that was easy.
Painless. It only took all day. Clean that up and get this manifold bolted on. We're going to do that real quick. We'll see you guys at the transmission mount, which is going to be the next. I'm sure it'll be just as easy as everything else we've done. I mean, what have we even accomplished here? The engine is technically in the car. That's about it. It took all day. I'm just eyeballing. That'll go there. I think the transmission has that much room to move up. Maybe. Also, this is crooked, so once this rotates down, I do think that this mount will fit. It will not fit these holes. These holes are just a touch spaced differently. We could egg those two holes out, just waller them a little. There's a chance that we could bolt this to the transmission, disregard the fact that one of the mounting tabs is snapped off of it. It doesn't matter. Wonder what kind of metric hardware I was trying to jam into this thing at one time.
And broke the ear off?
It sure did. Hey, what? You don't even need that part, clearly. No, there might have been a reason I left that transmission laying on the ground. It's really not.
In your video, you did say it was trashed, but
that doesn't mean anything. I'm an idiot. The transmission is presently pretty well buried against the tunnel. Not great. We don't need a lot of room, but you want a little bit of room. This could be forced over that mount, but we're not going to do that because that would just shove it up harder. It would be worse. As it is right now, it's actually pretty right. The cross member is in the original location. We won't have to drill new holes for that. It's a big plus. The only thing we're going to have to do is just make a little extension, bolted to the bottom here, and then bolted to that. Because once this is cocked down like that, I mean, if it should pretty much line up with that, close enough for what we're doing. So all we got to do is find a piece of plate, and we'll be golden. You found a piece of plate.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm just going to chop this off and make it a nice square. And I'm pretty sure then all I'm going to have to do is drill 2 holes in one end. That'll bolt to the bottom of that mount. Then I was just going to weld it to the cross member.
Yeah. We have a good welder now. I have to go get a haircut. I'll be back shortly.
Got to drill 2 holes in this plate that are about 1.5 inches apart on the center. And I took a center punch right there, put a little dimple. I'm going to drill the first hole, then measure from the center of it, 1.5 inches over, and drill the second hole. And then that should be where I need to bolt in the mount that's in the car. Got the cross member clamped to the frame because I kind of wanted a twist, so that's alleviated. And I've also got the plate bolted up, and it is currently clamped to the old plate on the cross member. I've got everything in place now. Should be able to weld it, and then it'll be done.
I just got back. My ears are lowered, but only partially. Working on the mullet. Jesse made this little extendo here. That looks fantastic. It's great. It's better than anything else on this whole car. It's a low bar. But no, I think that'll work fine. All we got to do is bolt up our mounts here for the cross member, and I mean, it lines right up in the factory holes. So this is all good. The downside is, you might notice there's a pile of drive shafts laying around. And the original drive shaft is too long, and it cannot be shortened because it is inside of a rubber housing. I had these 2 laying around. They are also too long. They could be shortened, but honestly, by the time we deal with any of that, I might as well just order a new one, is the way I figure it. And through Southwest Speed, you can get a drive shaft shipped to your door for about $300. It's not too bad. They sell them in 1/2 inch increments, so we just got to get close. And they want a specific measurement. It is from the flat part of the transmission. Yes, right there. And then you go back to the yoke, and our measurement, if I try to stay straight, is 57 and just a touch under 3/4. So 57 11/16-ish. So I'll go ahead and get one of those going with a new Turbo 400 yoke and a 3R U-joint in the back, and that will work just fine. Don't touch the tail shaft bushing. It's fine.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out.
No. See, you want a little slop in it.
About a ½ inch or so?
Oh, an inch is best, but this one's getting there. You know, someday it'll grow up. I've been at it a little bit today, just tinkering. I haven't done anything major without you guys. Sometimes it's just kind of nice to enjoy working on a car again, doing little things here and there. That's what I've been doing today. This damn elbow was just killing me. But I got the carb on. I got fuel lines getting started, a vacuum line. I got the heater hoses hooked up. Put a battery cable on it. I mean, you know, little boring things. There's 1,000 of them you got to do when you're starting from scratch like this. Right now I'm working on hooking up the factory return line right here, and I've got the fuel line hooked up. We're gonna have to get a little creative with the fuel line routing to the carburetor because this fuel pump I think is wrong for this application. I think it's supposed to exit like over here instead of here, but that's okay. I think we'll just kind of point it this way and then run a rubber line up to the piece that's on the carburetor with a filter in it. Fun fact, the reason this car has a return line is because it's an air-conditioned car. If it was not an air-conditioned car, it would not have a return line. And yes, we're going to be running the 2-barrel, at least for now. I mean, there might be room for a 4-barrel later, something like that, but the important thing is to get the car to run at the moment. And that's all we're shooting for right now. Get it to run, make it the way you want it later. You know, you don't ever get something done all at once. You can try, and that's where most guys fail, in my opinion, is that, you know, you try to make it all exactly the way you want it one time. Well, I mean, that takes a lot of money and a lot of time, you know, depending on your standards. Then, you know, you may just die one day and never have a car you ever drove. Screw that. You know, 2-barrel, whatever, it's fine. If it doesn't run worth a damn, I can rebuild it, or maybe then we put a 4-barrel on it. Who cares? I've moved on to trying to figure out a throttle bracket. Now, this little bracket on the side here, something I had laying around, I think that's a B&M bracket for a torque flight. Leftovers. But the other half of it's here, but the original engine must have had some sort of bracket assembly to slip into, which we don't have. But this fits remarkably well over that rod. And then if we just get that attached to the firewall, it will support it and let us use all of the factory throttle linkage.
Somewhere in that vicinity?
Works for me. One self-tapper? Not quite, huh? This will be very permanent. Hey, push the gas pedal. Aha! I am a fabricator. At least we got a throttle pedal now. 100 other things we got to do yet, but I'm going to move on to transmission cooler lines. Well, not all of them, but at least give me something to attach at least a piece of rubber to. And any external tranny cooler you buy is going to have these with it. They're meant so you can loop the fluid through the radiator and then to the cooler so it warms up quicker in the wintertime. But I never use them. But I do keep them because on a GM transmission, that'll thread right into the side of the transmission. It's got a flare on it. You stick a piece of hose to it, boom, you're in business. Voila, very tight fit. Getting an actual line in here would really suck. Getting rubber hose in here, not too bad. So we'll just run straight out of here, straight over to the frame, and then up. It has been about a week or more since I've been working on this car. We went down to New Mexico, did last week's video, and I just hung out with JD for a little while. Anyway, I got to get back to work. Now, I showed up and had drive shaft waiting for me. I get all my drive shafts from Southwest Speed out of Arkansas. They're cheaper than I got a local drive shaft shop, but hell, he wants $500-600 to make a drive shaft. I can get them shipped to my door from Southwest Speed for under $400. It fits, I think. Just about perfect. Now, on these, you got an inside clip. You know, a lot of times on like a 9-inch or something like that, you're going to have a little nub in the yoke that will retain the cap. On these, you have a spring clip that clips to the cap and then will hold it into the yoke. You can see the 1310 is an outside lockup, and then the 3R is an inside lockup. All you gotta do is tighten these U-bolts. Everything seems to be going well, and we will have a drive line. Now, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is stay under here, and I need to get a starter on this, which means I really don't want to buy one, so let me see what I got. What I have on hand is this mystery Proform starter from the clearance section of Summit Racing in Texas. Now, when I picked this up, these bolts were stuck in it, and with some persuasion, they removed. I feel like I've tried to put this on something before, and I do not remember what it was. So I guess we'll try to put it on this and hope for the best. On a Pontiac, one thing I always like to do is get the battery cable attached to the starter, even on a mini starter, is they are remarkably difficult to get to. So we need to land a battery cable down there, which is, we don't have one, do we? And then the trigger wire for the starter is, it's probably definitely one of these, could be this right here. This is cabin power for sure. So this is like everything, because it's going straight to the battery. This is powered all the time. This is a noise suppressor for something. This is some sort of relay solenoid thing. Yeah, let's try to figure out how this works. Don't know why it works. Well, kinda. Just want to see if I hear any relays clicking. Yeah, there is something out there. I'm deaf as a stump, so it's hard for me to tell. Oh, the turn signal's on. Oh, hey, why didn't you guys tell me the turn signal was on, huh? Oh, rear. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. Oh, so cool. I'm getting distracted. I guess there's a neutral safety. There it is. Right there. So whether the shifter is in the correct position is going to matter. It conveniently kind of stays in the crank position. I could maybe do some diagnosis with that. Dimmer switch is bad, but all 4 lights are on. Well, I did a fair amount of looking in this thing. I can't find a crank trigger wire anywhere in here. I think I found the coil wire. I think it's probably this guy right here, I think. However, I did find something. The neutral safety switch in here, it works. And it is sending power. It has power on it when I turn the key. So, that being the case, I will probably just take that and I'll run a brand new number 10 wire out to the engine compartment and we'll make our own crank wire. Just got to verify which one of these 2 here is our from the key. I think it's the brown one. Yep. So all we got to do is just extend that wire to the starter and then we will be done. So this wire is coming off of the key switch or down there by the neutral safety. And I've got the Proform mystery starter kind of stuck together right now. I'm going to leave just enough slack on that I can plug it in to the trigger wire. Then I'll bolt this up and I'm going to run this battery cable and land it here and just try to leave all the factory stuff alone. Let's see if it cranks. Hopefully that starter's good. Wow, that sounds horrible. It sounds like a Chrysler, but it does work. Are you on fire? Oh, well, this battery cable's a piece of shit. Oh, yeah, that's okay. This thing is pretty junk. So I'm going to change that to a big one, like this welding cable. I think it works good enough to start the car. I kind of forgot that we've never started this engine, so it might be a little dry inside, and that's okay. it was this unbearably hot up here and ice cold down here. So there's a lot of resistance right here. All right, I made a new big fat battery cable. That starter sounds absolutely awful, but it is no longer hot. Let's move on to tune-up stuff. I don't know, gas, radiator. Let's finish the radiator. Looks like this hose here will work. I think, yeah. Gonna have to be trimmed slightly, and then unfortunately, I think for the upper hose, I'm going to be kind of limited to this flexi guy here, and that does not fit that neck at all. This car had a completely different style of thermostat housing. I think they were just straight up and down. Almost forgot that I had the fan shroud, which will do absolutely nothing as it sits like that. It's, you know, it's kind of useless, but it'll direct some air, I guess. I'm going to just keep buttoning this up here. Little bit. I mean, everything is just a little bit at a time, 1 inch at a time, and eventually you've gone a mile. All right, I'm making progress. I got the lower hose on. Fits great, no problem. Fan shroud fits, no problem. Upper hose, big problem. Once we have an alternator in the way, that's not going to work. So I've been trying 100 different things. The flexi hose would work, but it's too sloppy on the water neck. I think I have the wrong water neck on this one. I think it's supposed to have this kind of water neck right here. And considering I have that water neck right here, I think I'll just go ahead and pull that and put it on there. You know how a simple job is supposed to be simple, like, yeah, just turn the camera off and take the thermostat housing off. No, I broke the bolt. I've had that off already. Why would it break? God dang it. How bad was it? I don't remember cross-threading it or anything. I'm going to give myself about 20 minutes before I say, screw it, we're putting a 4-barrel intake on it. I've had a lot of luck doing this in the past. Take a chisel, cut into the broken bolt, and then try to turn it out. Well, that didn't work at all. So next, I'm going to try the weld a nut to it technique. That new welder is pretty serious. I just melted the hell out of that. Pretty sure the idea there is to not melt the entire thing to where you can't put a wrench on it, but that's what it did. Oh, what happened to this thing? I guess this is quicker than changing an intake, even though I'm probably going to change it anyway. I don't know. I swear everything on this car is just fought. That is the first time that welding a nut to a broken bolt has ever worked for me. Ever in my life. I give all the credit to that Miller welder right there. That thing has been just... what a game changer. It ain't even cross-threaded. Not a bit. The threads look perfectly fine. Why did it do that? I'm going to chase these threads, but as you can see, the chase is going in no problem. Meaning, there's probably nothing wrong with them. Meaning, I just cosmically assaulted by evil entities when it comes to certain cars. It's the only thing I can figure. But I'll chase the son of a bitch just in case. You watch. All that nonsense and putting on this thermostat housing won't even help. I don't have another gasket. I'm just going to glue the son of a bitch on there. Yes. The ooze. Let's see, I got to get the alternator stuck on here so that I can see where my hose is going to go. Naturally, I just realized that I don't think I have a power steering pump. We'll cross that bridge later. We got 1,000 other things to do. Well, all that work, and it has netted me the same flexi hose. However, this neck is a little bit bigger, and the flexi hose actually fits on it fairly well. And it's hideous. However, I don't have any hose clamps, so it's too late now. Store's closed. I did get a transmission cooler. I guess I can go ahead and throw that on. It's getting late, but you always got to push one more thing. And what that is going to be tonight is an extreme oil change. We'll begin tonight by removing the Fram oil filter. This is an extra capacity oil filter. Unneeded, except in heavy-duty applications. Glug, 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 glug. And we will install a brand new house brand MicroGuard oil filter. And we will commit the cardinal sin of using an oil filter wrench to slightly tighten the oil filter. Here we are. Next we shall remove the oil pan drain plug and deposit the contaminated used motor oil into an environmentally friendly container. There we are. Yes, it's very gritty. Yes. Ignore the alarming amount of metallic substance in the motor oil because it is a Pontiac V8 and therefore essentially indestructible. With an appropriate amount of lubrication removed from the oil pan, we will reinsert the drain plug and prepare to fill with fresh oil. And we will now install new oil into the engine. Yes. And what we have here is Valvoline VR1. It is a high zinc racing oil. It has all the zinc required for a flat tappet camshaft. We will be running a 2050 weight oil to make up for the lack of engine remaining in this engine. This has been your extreme oil change. I will see you on the morrow. Alright, we're back at it today. I've already been out here. I put a new cap and rotor on it, and I mounted a coil to the engine. And I was thinking, I was like, I think I have a brand new set of spark plugs around, and I do. Kinda. You guys will send me all kinds of stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's where these came from, as one of you all. I got 2 boxes of brand new AC Delco plugs. Now, these are R46SX. What the X means is that it doesn't use that little washer, the little crush washer that goes on there. Here's a plug out of this engine. See how it's got this little washer on it? So the 46XX does not use that. However, I have a set of R46S plugs, which are right here, and they come with a washer. I'm pretty sure that's the only difference, but I could be wrong. This engine has R45S plugs in it, and in AC Delco land, what that means is they're pretty hot. I'm pretty sure this would have R43S plugs in it from the factory. The higher the number, the hotter the plug. I'm going to put these 46S plugs in it because that's what I have, and I don't want to spend any money if I don't have to, right? So we'll put those in. If you run a hotter plug, it'll actually help with oil burning, oil consumption, that kind of thing. It'll help the engine run a little cleaner. It will not make as much power. A hotter plug basically means that the electrode is sticking out further into the cylinder. So if you run too hot of a plug, you can run into detonation issues, but I don't foresee that being a problem here. There is one catch with these plugs that I'm going to be using. That's that they've clearly perhaps been underwater at some point. They're quite rusty, so we're going to have to clean them up as we go. It's funny, they were sealed in this blister pack here, but clearly over the past 40 years, they've gotten a little crusty. Not great, but they're still brand new, and I'm still going to use them. Crusty or not, these plugs are still better than any of the Chinese garbage that AC Delco is producing currently. I'm going to clean and gap them, and for plug wires, I've got a used set of plug wires here. But they're still perfectly good. They're older, but they feel good, they're pliable, so I think they should work. You guys know me, this is the real budget channel, okay? I'm not out here trying to build show quality SEMA cars, okay? I just build cars that function. And if I can do that for less money, I will. And I'm going to guess if you're building a car and you have the ability to spend less money, you will choose that option over spending more money. Just noticed some tears in my used spark plug wire boots. I'm pretty sure I've got another set though. Hang on, let's go look. Just got to go over to the old barn here. My newly organized areas in here. And yeah, what's this? Oh, random stuff. It's a brand new set of Taylors. I'm saving those for something better though. There we go. Brand new crappy plug wires that came with something I bought. It'll work though. You know they're a good set of plug wires. They don't even have a name on them or words at all. Yeah, that's a good set. And the plugs that are coming out of this thing don't really look all that bad. They're just, yeah, they're kind of carbon fouled. That one is literally new. The first one I pulled was definitely not new. They're also not tight. I think somebody just threw a set of plugs in the thing that they had laying around. And that is a brand new spark plug. That is not. As I've been going around this thing, I was like, man, these wires don't seem to be in the right place, and they weren't at all. They were just stuck on it wherever. I don't know what we're getting into here, guys. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, that'd be 5. There we go. And 7. All right, now I think we're close, or maybe we're off like one post, but it'll be closer now. Wow. I just pulled all the plugs out of the passenger side here, and there's one of them that's a little concerning. It's a little melty. It's got a little, I don't know, a little something like the electrode melted, so I got my borescope out, and I'm just looking like I probably should have done in the first place. And I don't see any like catastrophic damage at all, so I don't think that is really a concern. However, what I do see is very, very heavy cylinder wear. See these straight lines here? That's bad. You don't want that. That means that this thing is just scraping up and down. There's some pitting in the wall. Yeah. Now, it does have one thing going for it, and it is a Pontiac, therefore it'll probably won't care at all. But if I hadn't looked, I'd have never known. Now I know. Now it might be a problem. Press forward in our ignorance, though. Just keep going. Just, you know, you keep smashing your face into a wall. Just keep doing it until you break through the wall. Okay, plugs are all in. She's wired. I got the coil wired up. I am going to fill it up with coolant now. And hope it doesn't come out the bottom of it. Then we're going to prime the carburetor up and see if it'll run. It'd be pretty cool if it did, you know, considering we don't have any idea. All right, place your bets. Will I get away with this? Looking good. Let me make sure that coil's actually powered. Also, I found that coil on one of these other engines. It's got a huge dent in the side of it. It may not be any good. It's got power on it. Well, let's see if it's got any spark. No spark. Let's check the points, I guess. So even with a unknown mystery coil like that one, it's pretty rare that an oil-filled coil goes bad. We are energized here on the points, but there's no sparkies happening. I hate this style of points here. This is the kind with a condenser built into it. You can't see anything. You can definitely see that they're opening. As far as I can tell, I don't think I can even get a piece of sandpaper or a points file into these. I'm going to pull them out and see what they look like. I got the points out, and you can see why I'm kind of unable to do anything about them in the car. They are pretty smoked, actually. Could use a new set of points. I think they could be cleaned and they would probably work. I already pulled them out. I might as well change them. That's something I see in a lot of other videos. Guys don't actually change points ever. They just clean them and run them. And that's fine. It works. But they are a wear item. You know, I mean, they were made to wear out and need to be replaced every so often. So I do not have a brand new set of points, but I do have a brand new points distributor, also from the Summit Racing clearance section. You can see here, this is the type with the separate condenser and separate points, which I very much prefer, and it will work in that distributor. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to just take these out and put them in that distributor. It's that easy. Pull that out, pull the condenser out, put all the guts in there, and we'll have to set the gap. All right, well, it was the points for sure, because I don't know if you can hear that, but it'd be arcing. You know, but the cool thing about gapping points, you got to rotate the engine around to a high point in the distributor. And the cool thing about this piece of crap starter is it doesn't do that anymore. Proform. I'm gonna have to get a starter, but I can still gap these points. I'm gonna gap them to 17 thousandths. Shown you how to do it before on the channel. I'm gonna knock it out because it's very uncomfortable to sit in the engine bay of this. And I guess I'll order a starter. Points are in, gapped 17 thousandths, the starter. I put 2 starter shims in it. See if that works. Now you heard it maybe try to fire there. Alright, it's trying. It's kind of acting like the timing's off, but let's just re-verify that our spark is happening. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got plenty of spark. That makes me think it's probably timing, like the distributor's been put in incorrectly. I don't know, a smart thing to do would just be to bump it over and let's see where top dead center is and do it the right way, like we should have done to begin with. The way I'm going to do that is stick my finger in the hole. I'm going to bump it until my finger gets blowed out of the hole. It's got to be somewhere in there. Feel in there. You can feel the piston is up. I'm going to pop the cap off. See which direction the rotor is pointing. If we look at the rotor, it is a little off. Should, on a Pontiac, it should always face well, where I stuck it, you know. It's the very back one, typically. And that is not where it's pointing. So, easy solution here will be to just move all the plug wires around one pole clockwise. Let's see what happens. Oh, probably had to put the spark plug back in. Okay, well, it starts. That sounded horrible. What was that? I think it might have been a certain Proform starter sticking. Let's try again. Okay, that starter is terrible and needs to go away. However, it does seem to run okay. Didn't hear anything weird. No knock or anything. This is going to be hard for you guys to believe. I do not have a Pontiac starter on hand. Well, that's annoying, but at least we know it runs. I got another starter coming. It won't be here till tomorrow, though. I think in the meantime, we got plenty of other things we can do. I'm going to go ahead and get the charging system done. I found a keyed 12-volt wire under here. So we're going to use that to excite this alternator. You just plug that in the side. And it did have a charge wire. It was in that really scary looking bundle over here, the kind of light colored one. I don't know what else was in that bundle, so I just capped it and shoved it in the corner. I don't want to mess with it yet. But we're going to run a new charge wire, and it's very simple. We're just going to run some of this number 8 right there. Well, we got a charging system. We got a belt. I found one in my stash of belts. Got like one more major thing to do to this thing, and that would be a shifter linkage. And well, it don't have nothing. So we're going to have to engineer something. This is going to be no fun at all. Here's what we got to work with. When you move the lever inside the car, it moves this. There's a rod here. It's supposed to take a clevis. And that's supposed to go up to, well, obviously it would have been completely different. It was a completely different transmission. So, this is definitely one area I kind of wish the car was on a lift. Don't let me forget to tighten those pan bolts, by the way. Here's what I've got. This is the original column shift bracket off of the transmission that came with this engine. Probably not going to work, obviously. What it will need to do, this motion seems to be, is just pretty much forward and back. So if we were to just put a tab on there, you know, that stuck off the top, as long as forward was park and back was first, it would work, right? The shifter is going to be nowhere near correct on its pattern, but my only goal right now is to make the damn car actually functional. We can make it better some other time, or someone else can. To be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of this car anymore. It has kicked my ass. I am going to run along to the hardware store and get a piece of all thread and see if they have some eyelets, clevis looking type things that would make life a little easier. And then I'm sure we're going to have to weld or modify that bracket for the trans. But let's see what we can't come up with. I got 2 Heim joints from the hardware store. I think what I'm going to do, this is currently in the park position. It is all the way forward on this shifter. It'll pull back as it goes through the other gears. This obviously won't work, but if I bent this tab flat and straight, put another Heim joint on it, I mean, they're pretty well in line, enough that a Heim joint will take it up. And then I got a piece of tube, because my hardware store is useless, and while they do carry Heim joints, they don't carry anything to put the Heim joints in. So I got this piece of tube, and the way I figure it is I can tap this tube and thread the Heim joints in. And if it need be, I could bend it. So, I don't know. If worst case scenario, I got a couple chunks of all thread, but I think this will be a little neater. First things first, gotta straighten out half of this. How the hell am I gonna bend this? Every time I try to bend that, it tries to bend in the middle around the bolt hole. That ain't gonna work. But I have newfound welding capabilities. So, I'm just going to cut it off and then I'll just weld it on straight. Let's see how bad I can screw this up. Probably not too bad because I really like this welder. I will, of course, use the ground clamp to hold this where I want it. I mean, it looks pretty stuck together to me. I love this thing. I got that arm bolted to the trans. We're going to end up needing to put some kind of bend in this, like a little S or something. Not sure what exactly yet, but it should bend fairly easily. Before I do that, I'm going to see if my idea of tapping this and threading in a Heim joint is even possible. So I've got a tap here. I'm going to mount this up in the vise. And maybe actually, if I do it like this, it might give me some bend. Oh, it is. Hey, 2 birds, 1 stone, baby. This is a 7/16 tube, allegedly, or just under. So I was thinking that the tap would probably be just about right for it. And it's working. There she goes. Oh, check that out. I am basically a machinist. And that's going to go on the shifter, and then it's going to... I might have to modify that arm again. I just needed something to start with. So, let me go see how this works. I'll bring you in as I kind of noodle this out. I think I've got it figured out. Taking me a little longer than most. I'm kind of slow. I'm going to just move the shifter. We will observe. Go to park. Yes.
It's good?
Go back.
All the way?
Yeah. Yes. Probably. I don't think it moves any more than that. Let me try real quick. It seems to be as back as this goes.
Okay.
All right, now take it to park again.
Park.
Seems like park. Let me make sure. It is park. Yes, I've done it. So what I'll have to do now, I have to make some sort of jam nut or something to hold those heim joints into my rod here, but I think this will work. I believe it will. This nut here is going to be an issue because that needs to swivel. I've got a plan for that. I think I'll have to drill a hole in the end of this bolt, and then we'll use a cotter pin to retain it. And I am engineering on the fly here. All right, I will try to use a jam nut. That would be preferred here because that way it would remain adjustable. So I'm just going to color in the threads where they are so I know how long it's sticking out with my crayon here. Now I can unthread the heim joint and then thread on a nut. And those are fine thread 7/16, which should be the same as a GM lug nut. It is the same as a GM lug nut. There we go. Again, you guys ever wonder what the difference is between this channel and others? You know, I could have got a sponsored shifter for more $10 million and, you know, I could have had a LS crate motor given to me. Or I could build shifter linkage out of a piece of tube and a couple of lug nuts. I got like $25 in this bad boy here. And now, when I tighten the lug nut down, it'll jam against the tube and the heim joint can't pull out. Now for the nut side of things here, well, I think a nut would just fall off, even a nylock. So I got a rough idea of where the end of the heim joint is, and it's right about here. I ground a flat spot onto this bolt so that it'll be easier for me to drill through it. And I'll put a pretty good sized hole in it so we can put a big cotter key in it. Your final result. Got a cotter pin in that end, holding it in, cotter pin in this end, holding it in. It's got just enough slop in it that it can kind of move around. I'm actually pretty proud of that. I ain't no kind of fabricator, but you know, sometimes when I make something that actually works, it makes me feel happy, you know. You know what? I'm feeling pretty damn accomplished after that shifter linkage. I know it doesn't seem like much, but to me it is. Last thing I'm gonna do for the night is put some gasoline in here and make sure it doesn't pour out on the ground, because hopefully we have a starter tomorrow and this thing can actually run on its own. I'm gonna put a little motor purr in there, of course. I put motor purr in any, well, hell, I run it in anything I drive all the time. Not every tank, but, you know, I don't know, every few thousand miles. Anytime I drag a car out of the weeds or, you know, unknown carburetor, throw some motor purr at it. It'll help. How in the hell are you supposed to put gasoline in a car with this? Look how much fuel I've spilled all over the ground. You're gonna tell me this is more environmentally safe, huh? Yeah, I love the government. I sure am glad that the government tells me how to use a goddamn gas can. Well, no leaks other than what I spilled. So, good deal. Okay, where are we at? Mental list time? You gotta keep things straight when you're putting an entire car together and trying to maybe not half-ass the whole thing. Starter, tomorrow. Carb is very questionable. Power steering pump is, I don't have one. Transmission fluid, test transmission. And I got new tires to put on the 8-lug wheels, which I'm gonna have to do myself because Local tire shops are completely useless. Oh, and I'd like to put the interior back together. I've been out here this morning. I got a new starter put on. It sounds a lot better. That thing gallops so hard. But we're not, don't think about it. It ain't bad. It's either a vacuum leak or it's the belt, I can't tell. Let's see if it's the base plate leaking. Not there. Maybe it's not leaking. I don't hear it as much anymore. We'll put a little ATF in it so we don't burn up the pump. And I'm going to check the charging. 13.8, working. I'm going to put a little motor purr down the transmission. It'll help swell seals, stuff like that. Maybe give it a fighting chance. Then I'm going to take another thing of motor purr, dump it right down the gullet, see if we can get those rings freed up, valves cleaned off, all that good stuff. Keeping her cool, no problem. I would like to know if the transmission's going to work. Got no transmission. Shit. Something is making horrible rattling noises. I saw the drive shaft try to move, but something in there is really pissed off and making terrible noises. I don't know. I don't see anything loose. I don't think it's in the engine. I think it is maybe with the mystery transmission. I know it's still low. Let's put some more in there. Like it's the damn starter. Oh yeah. Well, there we go. We got gears. That's the starter. Is it that? I don't know what the hell that is, but it's pissed. I don't know. But I gotta tell you guys, I'm gonna go pick up a car here in a minute. I'll be back later tonight. We'll dive into this thing a little deeper. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. Do you tighten the torque converter? Do you guys tighten the torque converter? Is that something you're supposed to do? That'll do it every time. This I think JD ran these bolts in and they bottomed out. but they're too long, and yeah. Okay, well that's fine. This is easily fixed. We'll fix this. Well, yesterday I got distracted with buying a very special car that you will see coming up soon, and then I got dragged into going to dinner and all kinds of stuff. I didn't get anything done. Jesse's back out here today. We're going to tag team this thing and try to get it more done. I got some shorter bolts for the torque converter, so I'll probably crawl under there and do that real quick.
I pulled the seats out for you.
Yeah, he yanked the seats, because I think we should clean up the inside of this thing. And I don't even think there's any holes to patch in it. We got a brand new carpet kit. I think we should put it in. We should pull the console, though. I think laying carpet around that would be kind of a bitch. Be a lot easier if it could come out. Yeah, every single one of these is too long. We'll put new ones in. Then I'll button all this back up, and that will certainly take care of that problem. Never mind the growing lake of transmission fluid under this perfectly good transmission that I've installed. There's nothing wrong with it. Alright, I'm going to call the mechanic side of this thing done. You're still pulling that. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to start working on tires, actually. So 8 lugs are weird. They take this special adapter for a post tire machine, and you bolt this to the wheel, then you can do whatever you need to do with it. Now, I have a tire machine, as you guys know, but lately that thing has been bending the hell out of the rims of wheels, and I'm not going to do that to these. So I bought this thing. This is a bead buster. It kind of made sense to me that it would work fairly well. It's made to be used anywhere, anytime, and not quite. Yeah, they did it. Yep, there it goes. Hey, that's pretty cool, actually. Of course, because I am way too cheap to buy a new tire machine, this will be how I break down beads now, is with that. Is it? I don't know if it's even that much more work, actually, than the old coats. My only complaint with this is that the foot doesn't travel far enough. Like, I ran out of bolt, and it's not off the bead. I don't know how effective that is on most old cars that are got quite the offset on them, you know. Now, off to the tire machine. We will get back on the interior momentarily, but this is the heavy lifting for the day. I'd like to get that done. You can't have these things balanced anymore. So balance beads are the way to go. Theoretically, you're supposed to be able to put these in through the valve stem, but I've never been able to do that, so I'm just gonna reach down in here and put 4 ounces of them inside of the tire. Then we put the tire on as normal. It worked really, really good on that 2+2 Pontiac we did. There we go. Boom. That's 1 down. 3 to go. Well, this thing is basically ready to go back on the ground, except for the park brake cable is rubbing on the drive shaft. And I kind of hate to do it, but I think I'm just going to cut it out of here. I mean, it's never going to get used. It's just because the transmission's different and it rubs right. I think the old transmission would have been sticking out a little further.
Or are we missing a
hook?
A hook for it?
I don't think so. I think it's all here. And if this were under the cross member, it would be all right. But then it would be hanging and dangling under the car. I don't know.
Couldn't have that.
No. Problem solved.
All right, fixed.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the wheels stuck on. See, I kept these in that puddle of water for lubrication.
Kid, does your shop leak?
No, but the door does.
Ah.
Yeah, well, I built it into the side of a hill. Probably should have not done that. We're just going to stick these on for now. That's cool. White letters, man. Gotta have them. We'll scrub them before we put it on the ground.
Well, while Dalton's putting wheels back on, I'm going to work on cleaning out this interior a little bit and getting it ready for carpet. Got it pretty well cleaned out. This is really a solid car. There is no rust through anywhere in any of the floors. Pretty nice.
Wheels are all on the car. The car came with a new package tray and a new headliner. I'm not going to put the headliner in because I'm just not that good at it. If this was something I was planning on keeping, I'd give it a shot, but we'll let the next guy, pay someone to not screw it all up.
All I heard was package tray.
Package tray.
So that should fold and tuck behind the rear seat cushion, I guess?
Yep. Yeah, you just slide that in. It slides under the gasket of the back window. And I'm sure it doesn't need any modification.
No, it's a exact fit.
Direct fit, I'm sure. Look at that. It looks nice.
Except it's all filthy now, but...
Well, that's fine. That's the next guy's problem. And then you fold this down, then the seat is supposed to pinch and hold all that in.
Oh, that's supposed to be tucked in.
Yeah, this has to tuck behind the armrest thing.
Oh.
And we'll wash and clean everything, of course, but it's just going to get filthy anyway, so... Alright, 1964, Fairfax, Kansas City, Kansas. We're putting in the seats on the trim line. And fired. Hey.
Yes,
Nice.
Much better.
Hey, that's pretty good. Well, we're fired, but at least we tried. There we are. Off-brand sound deadener. Here we go.
You got your
roller.
Your roller?
No, I don't.
Oh. That's not going to work then.
No, it won't work if you don't roll it on. We all know that.
That's why the dimples are in it. You have to go till the dimples are smooth.
I know. I know. But I've also never done that. And it seems to work just fine. See? This is extra material for when the drive shaft comes through the floor. It has to...
Protects you?
Right. That's how they market it, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure right on the box it says, will protect you from flying drive shafts. One brand new carpet kit.
Okay. I'm sure this will fit perfectly.
Yes.
As carpet usually does.
Oh, it's going to need a lot of trimming.
Oh, yeah, it's nice and notched for the center console.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
I guess I need to remove the rest of that.
No, the console covers that, right? So we can just trim around it. Let's throw the back in, I guess. That's the easy part. We'll have to cut our seatbelt holes and shit.
This car has seatbelts?
Yes. No, 1964. It's basically, this is like the Apollo moon lander.
Seatbelts were not mandatory till 67.
Right.
Somebody in here was...
They were optioning it that way. They were concerned. Look at that, fits actually pretty good. It's pretty much any carpet kit in an old car. you just pull all the trim out. And the sill plates and the trim is more or less what holds the carpet in. No glue. Hey, I found the original carpet. Whenever you cut holes for seat belts, seats, whatever, if you just leave the bolt in it, let it kind of poke up on the carpet, and cut an X on the head of the bolt with your very dull razor blade. Don't use a good one. It makes it too easy. And it does not need to be perfect. It never was. General Motors didn't care. If it was under the carpet, then that's just the way it was. There's about a 1 in 3 chance that my grandpa had something to do with this car's assembly.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they were running 3 shifts back then. So if it was on night shift in 1964, Grandpa might have been there. And eventually you have just a bolt head sticking out. And if we had seat belts, we would put them in, but I don't. So now we have this console thing here in the middle we got to deal with. And what we'll do, we'll just kind of figure out where the middle is.
We're around there.
Crooked, but something like that. Yeah. Then you got the big scissors right here, pretty much right in line with that foot pad. So I'll just start splitting it. Well, no, I don't want to do that because the console didn't go that far back. Here, I'll just right in the. It's all insulated. Cut us a slot in it. Throw that back in. Oh, hell yeah.
Why did I pick the side with all the pedals and stuff?
We have carpet in here. It's dirty, but it's working. Looks nice. Console's back in. Back seat is all back in. We'll clean it all up. We're looking for hardware to attach the seats now. I didn't have most of it.
It's a lot of fun to get on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not shy away from using lots of bolts, did they? My God.
You wouldn't want those seats to go flying out.
No, that would be terrible.
Happened all the time.
That was a real problem. There she is. And that interior, pretty well done. Just gave it a quick wipe off. That door panel put back on. Good deal. We're gonna throw the hood on it, and we're taking it for a drive. This is not a light hood. Ugh.
It's pretty heavy toward the front.
Nah, I can still see where they were, kinda.
Close.
Oh. Nailed it. Nailed it. That hinge needs adjusted down, but that's not what we did. She opens. Pretty good. I call that good enough. Need to check tranny fluid. And then we'll put her on the ground. Listen to that thing.
In reverse.
Oh. There we go. Still low.
Idle's a little high.
Yeah, well, it's the fast idle. It's kind of screwed up on it. I didn't touch the carburetor, I just put it on. I figure whoever wants to do anything with this thing is probably putting a 4-barrel on it. And I don't even know if it's worth that, because it does have a dead hole of some kind. It's a dead hole that comes back. You don't like it when they come back. That means it's a valve.
Let's quickly get those out from under it. The cross member is a little...
Looks cool.
Does.
Looks really cool.
transmission's fine.
Gutsy. You'll note that I didn't hook up any of the gauges, but thankfully, the vacuum gauge works. It's not that hurt. She's carrying 20 inches of vacuum. Oh. Gonna shift? Oh, come on. Didn't want to shift. Brakes are great. Well, it went into second. Maybe it's just got to think about it. Well, you know, that could be better. What happened? Oh, okay, I know I joked about the transmission being junk, but I know it at least worked. What the hell? Hang on. Maybe we need to start over. That's how these work, you know. You park. Neutral. Good reverse. Drive. God damn it. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna take it back home. We'll see if the modulator valve fell off. The turn signals work.
Looks like we lost another cylinder too.
No. Come on now, she's picking them up.
Idle, it doesn't sound great.
The carburetor loads up really bad. I noticed that whenever I had it just sitting there. I really don't think it, I mean, like right now, this thing's smooth as can be. I think it's probably mostly that. Let's see, there's one thing we could do. Yeah. Oh, fixed. Holy valve cover leak. Interesting. Maybe that needs to breathe. Okay, this is the modulator valve line sticking. I mean, this is all factory. I can see it. It's still hooked up on the trans. Of course, that doesn't mean it's any good, but I mean, it was good. I suppose I could put in another one. I probably got one. I'm just going to borrow this one. This is a factory one. Oh, it's worth a try. You gonna puke? Yeah. There's a diaphragm in here, and it pulls in, and there's something inside of there. When this pulls in, it moves something in there, controls line pressure. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a transmission guy, but I have changed plenty of these. I do want to point out that this car was sitting for years and years and years with no motor and transmission in it, and it did just drive down the road, so that is an accomplishment. Oh yeah. There you go. Not too bad. I might have you do one thing, Jesse.
Yeah.
When let me get this bolted in. I'll have you start it, and I want to make sure that this vacuum line is actually sucking and not like plugged or something stupid like that.
Okay. All
right. Yeah, it's sucking. put that back together. I'm going to clean the window again. And we'll see if it shifts. And if it doesn't, then we can probably write this transmission off. I don't have any other modulator valves. I don't have a new one. Typically, the old ones are still good, so hopefully this works. I do think it's starting to run a little better. It's running really good right now. I want to make sure I'm actually in drive. Alright, let's actually drive. Now why are you running like ass? Shit. I think that transmission is dead. It's not going to do it. Transmission smoked. It has like 1.5 gears. It tries to shift into second, but there's just nothing there.
It's not getting better either.
It's not. We might be walking home. Glad we didn't go too far.
You don't think it's gonna do it?
I tried real hard. It ain't gonna do it. All right, let's go home. It's loud. And that's it. I mean, it will lay rubber. It needs a carburetor. That transmission's smoked. And now it's making noises. However, the brakes are great. I think the motor's okay. Everything else about the car seems good. It does steer fine, it's straight, rides good. I mean, all the lights work. I mean, it's not bad. It's a good car. And if you want to own it, you can. You're going to need a transmission, for sure. Turns out, who knew? Look, it's kind of like I did several years ago. But yeah, you're gonna need a transmission and maybe a valve job. But I don't go there yet. You know, I'd go get the transmission going first. And it does run, and it does charge, and it doesn't overheat or anything. And it doesn't run that bad. And starts right up. I will make you a hell of a deal if you watch the video. I think I'm into this thing for about $3,500. So you bring me $3,500, you get yourself a 64 Grand Prix. I think that's going to do it. I don't know what else we could do. I mean, we did a lot. I mean, it is a badass car. Look at this thing. It's tough as can be. I'm very happy with this overall. But the car I've been after is a 62 Grand Prix, and this it doesn't scratch the itch good enough for me to keep it. We'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. I have a really small project waiting. I mean, for next week, it's going to be like a 2-day deal. It's nothing. I mean, it's like maybe a weekend job. I mean, you know, nothing.